And we're live. We're live. We're live. It says you're live. All right. Morning thoughts. Morning thoughts. Morning thoughts. Shout out to Asarin Odetta. Thank you for being the first one here. Great goodies. And Sharon Ingram. Brick House. Good morning. Big up yourself. Home Tips. Thank you for being here first. And you are not in green, which I accidentally let everybody into the live this morning. So if you're in the live, please keep the comments clean. Okay, don't force me to have to block you, because if I block you, you actually can't comment even on any of the videos on YouTube, period. You're gonna have to go create a whole new account in order to do that. So just all I'm asking is just have some respect for the family and keep it kosher. But you grown, so still say what you gotta say, right? All right, shout out to everybody tuning in this morning. I accidentally left the live open. YouTube has this thing where you can choose who sees and who doesn't see, and I was moving too fast and I skipped over it. So there's going to be a lot of white names in here this morning, along with my green names that are in here this morning. Shout out to the Green family. Big up yourself. Thank you for being here, Mr. Article, Don, Audrey Wright, Jane Ander, Marcio Walters, Senior Sexy, Veronica Gale is in the building this morning, King Biggs, BM, Sharon Spence, Ellie A is here. Thank you for being here. Mistress Michelle Banton is in the building this morning. Sean Cassell, Virtuous Fire. Dorothy T is here this morning. Onika St. John Jones with us this morning. Thank you for being here, Devin Gale. Elaine Brown. Morning, family, and thank you for being here, Erica Sr. All right. Listen, we got a lot to talk about this morning. This should be a pretty festive morning. I didn't call out anybody that's in white except for one person, but thank you for being here. And I know that a lot of you tune in regardless if you can't get your membership or whatever. But yeah, big up yourself and thank you for being here anyway, right? Seeing. So with that said, let's get into our topics this morning. All right. Laden, dancehall artist Laden is free. He's been free for a couple days now. SouFLo, you're so late with the news. I'm not a news carrier. I'm not CNN, MSNBC, Fox News. Matter of fact, for Jamaica, I'm not TVJ, CVM, or any of them there. So I don't carry the news. I talk about stuff that interests me. See? So Laden is free. Tommy Lee was free right before Laden got free. Tommy Lee got locked up right around the time Laden had gotten locked up. I don't know the whole gun situation already and the FLA in Jamaica and how I feel about the FLA in Jamaica. So now that Laden is free and now that Tommy Lee is out, I can say some things. So I have some things to say in line with that. Also to welcome Laden back home to freedom. Vybz Kartel kids, are they being targeted? I want to talk about that one this morning because I saw a video circulating on social media and the video was pretty disturbing. But again, we're talking about Jamaica. Yeah, the video is pretty disturbing. Is his children being targeted? Yeah, we're going to go deep in that one there. Seeing? And then, of course, we're going to talk about, yesterday we talked about this older man. He was 30 years older than his wife. He is filthy rich. And, you know, he said from day one that he knew that she was just playing a tight game. But he figured that she was more or less out for the money and the good lifestyle. And one day would come, whether it was 5, 10, 15, 20 years down the line, the day would come when you would go divorce me and try to take some of my stuff, right? And he pulled a trick on her. 4 months after getting married to her, he went to the Dominican Republic, which is probably the only place or one of the only places you can go and get a full divorce, and you don't need the consent of the other person, right? So he went and he got a full divorce. And 20 years later, while she decided to do exactly what he said she was going to do eventually, she went to go file her own divorce. And she said she wanted half of all his stuff. And they said, you can't get divorced because you've been divorced from 20 years ago. So on that note, we will continue that conversation. But this morning, it's about one that audience members have been asking me to talk about. Them say, SouFLo, you know, say the soccer player, the football player, because in Jamaica, we say football. In the UK, they say football. Around the rest of the world, them say football. It's only in the US we say soccer, right? But football, you know, say the football player where him wife want divorce him and take half of him things. And I think the man level up, D-man level, one level. Because when she went to go file her divorce papers, and she stated that she wanted more than half of his wealth, she found out that he had nothing. Not that he had nothing, him have a whole heap, but his whole heap is not even in his name. He has never kept any of it in his name. So they can't even say, oh, so you saw this coming, so you moved the money. Nah, it's still her. He has never kept any of it. So we're gonna get into yo, the men are wising up. Big up on yourself, you know. And for those of you out here still simping, you better pay attention to game. Big up on yourself. See it? All right. I love this kind of story because I love this kind of story because it's a learning. It's a teaching and a learning moment. And then, of course, Shaggy finally hands over the $100 million. And I have something to say about that one as well. Where do we begin? Let's nice up the place real quick. Let's talk about this 24-year-old millionaire soccer player who predicted the downfall of his marriage years ago. And because he predicted it, just like the old man who predicted he's 30, that old man was 30 years older than his wife. Or you want to start with Shaggy first, Dr. Bird? But Dr. Bird, you're not even in a green. You're not even in green. You know what? These privileges usually go to the people who are in green. I'm sorry, but green, your name in green is a whole different level of support. You know what I'm saying? So I usually give them. All right, let's do it like this. Where do you want to start this morning? Let's see the audience, and I'll give you 60 seconds while I sip my warm water and lime. That's all I drink. Warm water, I'm gonna squeeze some lime in it. Where do we start this morning? Dr. Bird said, I always been here, fam. Me and my family. Me know, and I appreciate you, Dr. Bird. I do. Start with the baller. Start with Ellis, start with the baller. SouFLo. Achraf Hakimi, that's the baller. Yes. Same stuff, always be safe with mama. All right, start Dessa. Somebody says Kartel. Victory says Kartel Kids. Marcia Waters says Shaggy. All right. Kevin Rogers says Kartel and Shaggy are run the place. And nobody know want to hear about the baller. Okay, I got a next baller. Shaggy. There's a whole lot of Shaggy in here. It look like it's going to be starting with Shaggy and the money. Soccer. All right, Shaggy. I'm drinking yerba, mate. Shaggy. Shaggy it is. It looks like it's going to be Shaggy. Okay, we're now down to 15 seconds. Is it going to be Shaggy or is it going to be the footballer? Somebody, Rash Jada, big up yourself. Thank you for being here. Our sister is in the building. Rash Jada said the baller. All right, King Big said Gaza. All right, that means Kartel something. Greetings. All right, we see it. Shaggy, Boombastic, baller. Shaggy, Boombastic, baller. What with that? Morning farm, 100 mil. Shaggy it is. Shaggy wins. Shaggy again. Shaggy it is. I have to listen to the audience. Me can't say, tell me what to start and then start when me want to start. Right? So we're going to have to start with Shaggy. So let me shuffle this up real quick. Go over Yasa. Okay. Here we go. All right. Shout out to Urban Islands. And listen, I love to tell people my sources. Coming like when people go here and say, that boy always make up stuff like something go so. There are certain places I go for information and these people are credible. And I also send you there so you know where the information is coming from. And there is also a lot of other information there for you as well. So me just use the people them something, right? Me send people go over to for them platform too. So again, shout out to Urban Islands as well. The Gleaner have it, Star have it, Loop have it, but I choose to go with Urban Islands. All right? I've read all of them and it's the same plus more over on Urban Islands. So we are going Urban Islands this morning. See what time I said them name? All right. It's Shaggy it is. Shaggy won. We can't stop now. We can't stop now. All right. See that. So Shaggy has finally handed over the $100 million. By the way, let me bust some people bubble real quick. I got on my phone yesterday. I say Google, because I don't have an iPhone. You know, I see some woman yesterday I talked about, oh, iPhone is a deal breaker for me. If a man has a Android, I can't even date him. He has to level up and have an iPhone. Yeah, okay. Anyway, me don't have no iPhone. See it? But I say Google. I don't say Siri. So yesterday I said Google. How much is 100 million Jamaican dollars in US dollars? Because I'm thinking this got to work out to at least $1 million US, right? Boy, if we money slide, we're gone like avalanche. For money soon not work nothing. Imagine me give a man $100 million. And him say, yeah, okay, here is $675,000. I would have Bex, or 700 and something thousand dollars. You can look it up. Let me do it right now. See where you are. How much is 100 million Jamaican dollars in US dollars?
100 million Jamaican dollars equals 652,292 United States dollars and 90 cents.
$652,292.90. Okay? It's 500,000 would be $500,000. It's $152,000 more than $500,000. So all this time, one bag of excitement over barely $500,000. And for see all the trouble where Shaggy did go through, man. Forget the money. But here what? We understand there's a whole heap of money that still, right, that could do a whole heap of good. I'm just disappointed that it wasn't more. I thought it was at least 100 mil. It's like $500,000 US. Plus here is a little brata. We can't even use the word brata because, in a Philly culture, brata is something else. And what's that, Matty? What's what a brata? I will sing that song there. Anyway, back on topic, SouFlo. So, Shaggy has handed over the $100 million to the Bustamante Hospital for Children after almost 5 years since raising the funds through his Shaggy and Friends benefit concert to assist the hospital in procuring critical equipment to help the nation's children. Almost 5 years. Shaggy's fund held on to this money for almost 5 years. Now, I don't want to be a hypocrite because in the meantime, I was one of them that was saying, come on, man, free up the money, man. Let go the money. I understand you raise the money for a certain purpose, but can we divert the money to somewhere else to help somebody now? Like the little girl who did get burned up in the house and had to fly overseas to get medical attention. The woman who did run her bar and her car wash, and the boy, insecure man, what she did there with because she is saying hi to her customers and smiling too much. Him going to go set her up on fire and burn down the place and burn up the woman. She had to come to the US for treatment as well. I'm saying there were people out there who needed help immediately. And that money was just sitting there for 5 years while people go around the thing and try to go fund me and beg here, so, and please help us there, so. I didn't want to be one of them that was too pressy about it, but I just thought the money should have been let go a long time ago. Now, when you don't know, you don't know. Knowledge is key. See? And I had no idea that he actually couldn't let the money go because there are things in place that says that money was raised for A, so it has to be used for A. Otherwise, legally, you could be held accountable because you can't go and say, yes, I'm having a big concert to help the Bustamante Children Hospital, and then you take the money and help your brethren start up in big business and build a house. You will go prison. See? So I didn't know that there were things in place where they couldn't. But come on now, legally, behind the scenes, they could have whipped some pen and pencil and, change the thing. Anyhow, the move came following a bitter spat between Shaggy and the hospital officials after they appeared to change the purpose for which the funds were actually to be used for. And the artist refused to hand over the money because hospital officials were to use it to procure specialty equipments and beds. Not this new thing where them did suddenly say, give a man, we want to use it for this. So on Sunday, the Jamaica Gleaner reported that Shaggy handed over all the funds, which will help to facilitate an upgrade and to aid a slew of initiatives. Walk with the story, It gets very interesting. Almost 5 years that money sit down. For those of you who are thinking outside the box, I want you to think interest. I want you to think interest. $100 million sitting somewhere for 5 years, generating interest on a monthly, annual basis. All right. We're not going to go into the numbers because I'm a big man. I left school a long time and I wasn't good at maths even when I was in school, but we have Google now. See? So we can't say Google. What is the average interest rate on $100 million annually? And Google, I'm going to talk to you. And for those of you who have the big expensive iPhone, them were dunce like my smartphone, I'm going to just go ahead and say, Siri, what's the, I ask the same question. See? All right. Interest. I tell you if you think interest, because somebody came to me a long time ago and said, SouFLo, when you feel so them man they are idiot, them man they raise the money, they put it down, live off of the interest, put the interest in a feed them pocket, then when them ready, them leg of the money. But I didn't want to say anything and try to make Shaggy look bad, because that, if somebody said that about me, I would feel offended. And I didn't want to be that person, I didn't want to be that guy. Remember when Beanie Man said, do you want to be that guy? Do you want to be that guy? I didn't want to be that guy, right? All right. So the move comes following hardened efforts by the hospital officials who made several insinuations. And the hospital officials was making insinuations, because them they want the money, was making several insinuations that the artists might have either misused the money or refused to hand over the funds, kind of use it for personal use and whatever, right? This is according to, nobody come sue me. This is according to Urban Islands. See? All right. However, last year, Shaggy addressed the core of the dispute, which is that his foundation, which is Shaggy's Make a Difference Foundation, actually is called, has never in the history of the foundation actually handed over cash. So they do fundraisers. And shout out to Shaggy and shout out to his foundation. I actually went further. Let me do some justice here. I actually went further and I looked up when the Shaggy Make a Difference Foundation was established. It's been around for quite some time. I looked up where else have they given money and how much else have they given money. And let's just say that they should build a statue in Jamaica with Shaggy on it, or a big, when you go up a national stadium and you see a big statue, and Shelley and Fraser Price, big statue, them need a big statue like that for Shaggy as well. The man has raised a tremendous amount of money and has turned it over to them over the years. See? Yeah, man, Shaggy is a millionaire. And again, thanks Google and Siri and all these things, Shaggy is estimated 15, somewhere between the ballpark of 15 and 20 million US. That's his personal net worth. See? All right. Remember, when you hear this 100 million, it's not US dollars we're talking Jamaican dollars. That is why I clarified from the beginning so everybody understand. So it's just like a bit over half of 100 million Jamaican dollar. That is 600 and something thousand US dollars. 500 and something thousand is half a mil. Right? So that's how I go. Usain Bolt's, I don't know why I'm sure Usain in this, but some people do feel like Shaggy's been around longer. He have big song out there was still surviving. This, that, and the other. So he's probably worth like 100 million US. Well, if he is, it's not published. All the trusted sources that publish net worths has Shaggy on there between 14 and 17 million. And me stretch it down at 20. I say, all right, maybe him throw away a little 3 million account over in Bahamas or something like that. I don't know. So it's between 15 and 20 mil. Usain Bolt is 90 something million US dollars and counting. And they said by the end of this year, because of all his endorsements and appearance fees and all these other things, he will be past 100 million US by the end of this year. So they look at 12 mil where Usain lose the other day in a SSL squabble. It might hurt him because a whole heap of money. That's almost Shaggy's whole network. Him lose in a SSL, but he has a tremendous amount of funds as far as his network goes. Anyway, back to this story now. So Shaggy addressed this, and I remember him saying that never in the history of his foundation has they ever raised money and given cash. Scrape up all our money, city 100 mil here. That they've never done it. So the hospital coming out asking for money like that, that's not how it's done. And everybody knows that's not how it's done. He says their records show that what they normally do is the organization would raise the funds, then they would procure the goods that were needed, and then they would hand those goods over to the organization in need, which I think is a smart way to do it because Jamaica, we are talking about, yeah. 100 mil coming at the front door and one bed buy. Mr. Man will run the place. One X5 buy or a new X6 buy. I don't know the thing already. Right. So Shaggy said, well, if bed is what's needed, or if this lamp and window and whatever is needed, we can use our connections and we can get some good discount and these kind of things, right? So make we use the money, buy all the things that's needed, and we will hand those things to you. Seeing that did ruffle some feathers because they just wanted the money. And on the other hand, nothing we did I say, no, Shaggy, don't do it. Hold on penny money. Don't give them the money because nobody now go see it. Nothing now go happen. Jamaica, we are talking about, All right. All right. So he said we never hand over the money to anybody. And if you look at the model for Shaggy and Friends, which is the concert, we do not hand over money. We always buy equipment. And if there are repairs, we do repairs. Now, I must drag back one of the sad parts about this Shaggy and Friends concert. At the end of it, they did raise a whole lot of money. But when I found out that nobody else pretty much was on board, like in Jamaica, the entities, they weren't on board. Like the venue for rent out, this, that, and the other to be paid for. Them man, they had to pay. And they knew it was for a worthy cause. And them still charge them. They still charge Shaggy them arm and a leg up front. So not only did they raise the money, they had to pay back everybody who was involved, including venue and everything else. And then what was left was what was turned over into the kitty for, yeah. Please remember to like the stream. It's free. Dr. Bird. Dr. Bird, big up yourself, family, and thank you. All right. So during an interview with the Jamaica Observer last December, Shaggy said that he was waiting on the hospital to get several things done. A budget. Drop a budget. Drawings are done. And outsourcing a contractor at a competitive cost before the foundation would release the funds. He wanted to see them get started on the road to what they said they were going to do, and then he would release the funds to them. But no movement never gone. The foundation had planned at first to build a new facility, but there was no availability of land. Them couldn't find no land to buy to build the facility. This is what Shaggy explained, that they then contemplated a plan to build a ward, put on an extra piece, a ward upon the building. Still, the singer and actor, which is Shaggy, said that his foundation was prevented from doing that because the Charities Act, that's the name of it, it's called the Charities Act. The Charities Act prevents that money from being used for any other purpose other than what it was raised for. That's dumb as hell. But okay, I could see how it could be beneficial. Cause man, we come and tell about we're raising this to feed the children, and next thing in build a mansion, buy 2 beamer and fly out, right? Right. So I could see how that could be beneficial. But I mean, come on, man. This is not set in stone. God never write this. So they could have, change up the thing to suit. But anyhow, here we are. So Shaggy had received much flack from members of civil society who weren't too pleased, who bashed him very badly for not hastily releasing the money to the hospital. But others, which defended the artist, said that, yo, rampant corruption run around here in Jamaica, my friend. Hold on to that money there and make sure that the money is used properly, because if you let it go get them people here, we already know what's going to happen to it. And Jamaica is a place where there is very little to no accountability. Like, y'all see it all the time, right? Them just come out and tell us, say, $200 million scam go on and money missing, and then somebody just hire Peter Champagne, and then we goes to court, and then that's settled under the rug. We don't even hear what the outcome of it is until way down the line, when we forget about it already. By the time we hear that they got let go, we're like, what am I talking about again? Can't even remember. You see it? So I saw them go on. Anyhow, during his interview last year, Shaggy explained that he had been donating and handing out checks to needy families for almost a decade before even starting his foundation. Like him did on some Robin Hood and some Bob Marley stuff. However, he said that it was when he met a young patient, a young lady who a bullet was lodged in her head. He realized that, listen, giving her parents money, cut a check for them, that's a short-term solution. And there's no way he could go around just cutting check out and personal account just to give people in these types of situations, right? So the long-term solution was to help to build out a better facility to help future children, given the high rate of crime and violence that is in the island. In other words, this is going to keep happening again. That's what he said to himself. Must have. One picnic have gunshot in our head. The way how things go around here, so I can see this happening again. So that means that if I really want to help, I'm going to have to be cutting checks constantly for all these gunshot victims and all these things. Now, the last Shaggy and Friends featured international performers like Sting, which is huge on the international stage. Sting and Shaggy actually went on to do an album after that, nominated for Grammy as well, although they didn't win. Wyclef Jean was there, Dougie Fresh was there, the beatbox man, and a bunch of other something going, star power. And I believe it was iHeart that he partnered with as well, and other big sponsors that came on board. However, that concert, Shaggy and Friends, Shaggy put a warning out there, and he says that, well, I know him say, but that it looks like that's the climate. That concert might never happen again in Jamaica because he was hurt. He was hurt by the character assassination that took place over the years, noting that his friends, which included a myriad, nearly off my glasses, which included a myriad of sponsors and influential people, big name people who don't want their name to be tied up in some character assassination, something. Oh, you're in the island stealing money, just like how they stole the money over in Haiti for the earthquake, right? So now all those people, he must say, yo, let's do our next Shaggy and Friends. And people are like, I don't really know. I didn't like what happened after, the couple of years that followed after that money. The hospital wasn't keeping their end of the bargain to do what they were supposed to do in order for us to release the money. We were holding on to the money to make sure it was done in a proper manner. I don't think we want to do this again. So did we just bite the hand that was feeding us, or kill the goose that laid the golden egg with this one? Here I'm going to say to Shaggy. If I was Shaggy, because obviously you have the power now to generate a large amount of cash, me would I do something for myself. That's it. Do something for yourself and get back. It can't be give all the time. I'm sure you want to increase your net worth too. I'm sure you want to create generational wealth for your children too and your children's children. I'm sure you want to live good too, as much as your heart is good and you want to help a lot of people. If I was Shaggy, I would do a concert for myself. And all proceeds goes to me. And you don't have to tell everybody that all proceeds goes to you. It'll just be Shaggy and friends, and that's it. And you bring in your friend them. I want to do a big concert at Jamaica. I want to split the check. I want to go about in the business. That would be some kind of retribution for what y'all went through, trying to do good after all of this. Not true? Left a bad taste in their mouth, so them no want to do it again. And you know what it kind of reminds me of? And this is on a way smaller level. This is me. When somebody sent me one video, I say, all right, that's just one person. I don't really care what people say. Then the next person sent me a next video, and the next person sent me a next video. SouFlo over there, and these are my fellow Jamaicans. SouFlo over there try scam people. Yeah, I guess that's the new thing because I say all the one rapper crapper do it to like them a scam them audience. I talk about them a help people and all. I genuinely help people. Matter of fact, I tell my audience like this: if you give me $100, I match that 100 with 100 from myself. People send me $50. I'm gonna go drive straight to the ATM and pull out a next 50. Add it to that. Take money out of my pocket, pay the Western Union fee, and send $100 net to somebody in Jamaica that I know that needs it, and is not a relative of mine. See? So when people start slandering your name and saying stuff about you when you're trying to help other people, I'm gonna say I haven't really jumped on that for this year yet, right? It kind of make you feel because there are to how few people love negativity. Trust me, there are a lot more people that gravitate towards the negative news than they do towards the positive news. Seeing? Yeah, I get a scamming thing them boy they are deal with over there. So yeah, SouFlo and him wife over there scam. SouFlo is scamming to support him wife. Those were the comments that were being made, and to see how many people were actually answering it back, to see how many people T357 music group, big up yourself, my brother, to see how many people actually did like the comment there and them kind of comment there on the different platforms that were sent to me. It was hurtful. It was hurtful, you know, because sometimes I send money to people when me need it for myself, you know. And I told people before, I'm not no rich person. When you see me out the road, me carry myself dirty or clean. Me don't know. You might see me I come from picking up my kids, running to the grocery store, doing this over here. So I've been working all day. Maybe me did a paint something, maybe me did a clean something. Me draw myself out the road just like that, like regular person. If you see me at an event, me clean up nice and carry myself good. But you won't see no big bag of flashing nothing because them thing they are not my thing. So for those who, when we ask to give, because we are trying to help, please know, say, you're not support my lifestyle, okay? You're not making me rich. We genuinely want to help some people, and that's what we tried to do. So I can understand how Shaggy must feel about that, and I can understand how the people must feel that are attached to that, because Shaggy big, but those people that he had attached to that, they are huge out there in the world. Like a person like Sting no one get him name tarnish in a no scam. You know what I mean? The man that come on, big checks, big stages, big shows all across the globe. But that's how it goes. So shout out to Shaggy and his foundation. And even though I was iffy at one point, because, you know, people did not tell me about SouFlo, check the interest. The longer them hold on to it, the more money I'm going to make and scrape that off and take it for themselves. And then, you know, eventually them will release the money. But then probably I'll use the money already and don't have it if I put it back. For those of you who said he didn't have it there, he actually went into the account and showed them the money that, see that? It's right there. So it's not like I spent it and I'm trying to put it back before and catch me or anything like that. And the bank verified that that money was there and that money stayed there the whole time. None of it never get moved or anything. So basically improved beyond what was needed, that he's not dealing with no scam. You know what I say? If you're not going to help the person that's trying to help other people, just gossip. That's it. We live in a world now where social media can be very damaging. It can also be very powerful and helpful. You see it? Now, if him don't do that Shaggy and Friends concert again in Jamaica, show me the next person that's going to do it. and hand over $100 million to any children hospital in Jamaica. Show me the next person that's lined up to do it. All right. Dr. Bird said, thank goodness I never in a SSL Shaggy put the money. Me rotted. What a would a bangaranga? What a would a fighting? Yo, you saying can't even get back fee money, so you must know. JamaicanTV.com says SouFLo is easy to see that your business runs honestly. Yes, fam, because here what? Before we go on to the next topic, I'm gonna say this again. I'm a person that I'm out there for real. You know, when people say me they are road, me out in the road for real. So I'm in Jamaica, I'm here, I'm around. So me don't want nobody fling no buckle lick me in the back of my head. I all lying dirty boy, your teeth far away, clum. No, I want I want people. That's why some people have to hide them face and stuff. No, I want people to say, yo, dog, respect enough. Even when them don't like me, them still heal me and go about them business. Because I'm not a sabotaging kind of person. I'm not trying to be wicked to nobody. And I also, it's karma, yeah, man. I just how we deal with the thing. Karma. See? Let's take a phone call real quick before we go on to the more saucy topics. Live on the air with SouFLo. Good morning.
Morning, my boss.
Morning, family. What going?
Just a tune in and hear the topic with the money, Shaggy and the money.
Mm-hmm.
I have a quick question for you.
Talk to me now.
Do you, personally,
Mm-hmm.
do you think there is ever going to be any positive changes in Jamaica? Where the government is concerned?
No. No time soon. Not unless we change who is there.
No time soon.
Not unless we
no
change
time
who
period.
there. If we change who there. If we change who is
yes.
there. If we change who is there.
Point.
Mm-hmm.
You have a point. But I don't see that change coming.
Yeah. Me not see it
because
coming neither.
Because of the people, brother.
Yes. Yeah, me agree. Me agree.
Them stuck one way. Yeah, their mind is stuck in a like a one-way street.
Yeah.
Them have blinders right now. You see me?
Yeah. And them happy with it too.
Going around them.
Yeah, and my people them happy with it too.
Them happy.
Yeah, you know that don't sound proud something there. Well, them blind and happy too. Yeah.
So and the next thing I want to touch upon too, the level of entitlement with the government have, brother, it mind blowing.
Yeah.
The way them go by and demand this money.
Mm-hmm.
I
mean, I think the same thing, you know, because you remember when we grew up, them say beggars are not choosers. You know, like beggars don't have no choice. Yeah, beg a man a thing and the man say, more give you a thing, you say, all right, and you take it and you're grateful, not true. You can't tell him about get it to me by this time and I want this much and release it to me like this. You know, one bag of demand.
Himself and do this thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Him never have to do it. See?
Exactly.
See other artists come out and them contribute. Like Bounty, big up to Bounty.
Big up to Bounty Killer and the Bounty Killer Foundation as well. Yeah.
But this thing where Shaggy come out with from him hard to help the kids them when in need, man, and the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
Even the country, because the government is the one that's supposed to be providing all this infrastructure and these resources.
Yes. And them have the money for do it.
And them have the money for do it.
Yeah, that's the sad part. Them have the money for do it.
For the man raise this money and then give them an ultimatum, okay, we want you come meet you halfway and build this year, because what we plan to do, we can't do it with what's already there. We want new place, new structure. And not even that them can't do out of the whatever the country have, brother.
Brother, them not even give him the venue for free. If say, okay, it's for a worthy cause, gonna use the venue for tonight for that concert. And we know all the money, that's us doing our part. The man had to pay everybody for everything.
Listen, my youth, them say the good officer for the bad. And if Shaggy decide not to do anything else moving forward, he have all rights.
Yeah, and that's the sad part, because he does have all rights. But it got sad. It got sad because who else ever done it and who else is going to do it?
And the people who really in need now, the kids them who really in need, them are gonna suffer.
There you go.
Because the KPH right now need help.
There you go.
Who else are put on fundraising events to help KPH?
Yeah.
People are sleep on floor down there.
Pause right there,
Eh?
sir. Pause right there, sir. So when people done assassinate the man character scene and them feel satisfied because they got a lot of likes and views on it, right? Now, let's think about the children in the future who are going to need that help. The government will not do nothing. And a person like Shaggy who is now blighted and feel like, yo, I can't go through that again. You know, Shaggy rich, you know, man. Shaggy don't like you said, he didn't have to do this, you know. He could be very selfish and hey, my family is good. You know, I got money I got real money, generational wealth money. My family far from poor, me good over here. He could have been like that. You know, but them assassinate the man character and the real people who are going to feel it. You just said it. Are the youth them where he was trying to help. Yeah.
I might tell you say, I'm gonna be honest with you, SouFlo.
Saying
You always say, you're not stopping nobody from go back and you encourage people to invest at Jamaica, see?
Yeah, I do.
Right now, me live in America and I look back at Jamaica and I tell you say it hurt me, brother, cause it's not like this country can't improve, you know. But the people them stuck in our mindset where it's destructive done.
Yeah, true, man. True. And I can't go around that neither.
Them say if you want to see black people destroy themselves, just give them little power and little money.
Yep.
Them are self-destruct down there. Me not gonna lie, me not gonna run it.
Let me see it all over.
We know,
and that's true.
I'll even in America. When it comes to the black society, we don't need to complain about no racism now. Because
we're doing a fine job. Thank you, sir. So it's not even just a Jamaican thing. It look like
it's a black mentality, you know. It's the black mentality because you know, see no other race hombre will fight so much against them own. You see me, I say? I want to talk to myself and I say, boy, when we think about it, everybody in our world racist, you know. Black people, white people, Chinese, Indian, everybody. Because who is a racist? Somebody who wants to see them race in power.
Right.
Or who wants to see them race above every other race, right?
Right.
White people want to see them race up front. Chinese want to see them. Indian want to see them. But the difference with them and the black society now, we no help each other, brother.
Facts.
Them look out for them own.
Facts.
And them choose for them own over every other race.
Yeah, facts. Our most damaging thing for us is we don't even understand economics, basic economics. May I read a study the other day, see? And the study showed all the communities pair them off, and it says this community, like it says $1, how long does $1 circulate in each matter of fact, I encourage everybody here to go on Google and type in how long does $1 circulate in each community. I guarantee you it will come up. And they pair off all of the different community, them, the Asian community, the white community, the Hispanic community, the black community. And why $1 them basically leave our community sometimes before we even won't earn it.
Yeah.
About 1 hour in getting the dollar, it gone out of our community. You know, so for them dollar in each one of those other communities stays within their community the longest. In other words, then, them buy from each other, them sell to each other. Even if them see you have it for half price, them say, nah, I'm still going to buy from my own people, even though I know I can get it cheaper because I want the money to stay in my I know. So we move. We say, man, move on, go. Mr. Chin have it, chow, Mr. Chin, me, I go. I will go.
That my youth, that what you just said, is a perfect answer to a comment we see in the chat where LA, she asked if, did we do it to ourselves or is it the institutional from the positions we have been put in? Why are we self-destructive?
That's a big question.
LA, what SouFLo just said is the perfect answer. We try, we're too greedy and try to keep everything for ourselves. We don't want to help our brother and our sister.
Yeah, facts. And we don't understand, so when we help our brother and our sister, we help ourselves.
We put them above ourselves.
Yeah.
We don't think we're worthy to lead in a certain position.
Sad
so
truth.
We bow to people.
Sad truth. Sad truth. Sad truth,
we're too easy to bow to people who look different from we.
Sad truth.
and downgrade and look down upon the people who look like us.
I'll help them get rich too, you know. I'll help
And
keep them rich, you know. Help them get
And
rich.
we see
Help
them want
keep them rich.
We don't need white man. We don't need white man to put us in a slavery.
We
We
do
own in a slavery.
Yeah.
So no come off of this mentality about racism. We have our own problem.
Biggest
In the
problem.
black society.
Yeah.
Bless up, my brother.
Manners and respect, king. Yeah, man, the hard truth, you know, and sometimes it gets so redundant because you know it and you hear it all the time and then you say it all the time, but then you hear it from somebody else and you're like, what is the hard truth? That's always still. And until we overcome that mindset as a people, then we're always going to be other people's footstool, you know? And I just saw it go for we. We like to rise up by ourselves, individually, one person, so we can show off by each other. We just talked about that the other morning, while them, when I say them, I mean the others, they like to rise up as a community. That way they can't be with. So if it translates into something else. Let me say this before I go on to the next topic. This is how I'm going to end it. It translates into something else. When you have economic power as a community, everybody listens to you. Yeah, because you can adjust their rated margin. See that y'all, how often do y'all ever see, oh, another Asian youth shot by the police? The Asians are out marching again in numbers. We want justice. Asian lives matter. How often do y'all see that happen? How often do y'all see it happen to the white community? Because as soon as you touch on them little white kids, right? That white man and that white woman, they move the margin. Every Ross body unemployed, who are the sheriff in that town that just get fired, he must go find work down at Walmart if them can't hire him. Who over this? And it's because their money is going to speak for them. But they know how to keep their money in their community and they know how to stay unified and support their own. And we haven't mastered that yet for some reason. We're still upon greediness and want to show off by each other and all them kind of something that, yeah, my man. Sometimes I just get so depressed about the whole we stay and I just feel selfish. Like, you know what? Let me just go ahead and build something for my kids and mind my own business. And that's why I say Shaggy could easily have done that. You know? Because I'm good already. See? All right. With that said, moving on to the next topic now. Let's go right into the baller because that was the second one that was chosen. And then we're going to talk about Vybz Kartel's children being targeted. Before we do that, I'd just like to say shout out to O'Keefe Aarons, otherwise called Laden. Laden is once again a free man, and Laden was released after serving almost 30 months for gun possession. Let me cut that part here at the show short just to say this. The FLA in Jamaica is bare and need fix up. Live on the air. Got something there in the background. Turn it down for me, fam.
Yeah, we have turned it down. Turn it down, Queen.
And then we are going to hear you
morning
clear.
Again, my boss.
Morning, King. What go on?
Yeah, my morning to the listeners.
Saying, talk to you now.
Yeah, I wake up this morning and see I talk about the topic where we go through yesterday. So I want to share with my experience yesterday.
All right.
By the way, I'm in America again, I'm in Jamaica. I'll come up back next week. You me? Yeah. So, you know what I'm saying? Yesterday, I'm going to turn over. Near the general I talk about, like, you know, it's like the people, the society people in my Jamaica, they're prejudiced against the poor and people who less fortunate. And I lie, I tell brother, the rich, I get richer, and the poor, I get poorer. I would be know that from a long time. They sing it in a song.
But the caller did I say is our mindset though, family. Our mindset.
No, it's right.
I saw me stay with me in Jamaica too, you know, for those of you wondering. Not to cut you off or nothing, but just address the audience real quick. When I'm in Jamaica, right, please don't try to talk to me fast because I move slow like a turtle.
Yeah,
because
let me tell you because I 1 minute up.
Yeah, all right, talk to it.
Yeah. You see, yesterday, Me there for Terranova up at the gaming lounge, brother. And me I tell you, say, our money just as good as any other person money. But it's like, true, he's not a regular, like a everyday spending person who come in there. The Chinese come up them are youth, but they will feel like them are Jamaican. Brother, you want to see how they move, my youth. It's like them turn one a set of people against me.
Yeah.
And then one of the people them fall. I show the people in poverty and want better. You see me? Them use the money just like how you have a bone and shake the dog and every move you move, his head move.
Yeah. Boy, I'm called cut off. But here what? To add to what he was saying, I said this already, so somehow I might have missed it. You see, true, I don't know, I feel a bit empowered when I'm there in Jamaica. So when I see certain things, me like black traffic and talk loud. See? Like, I'll never forget, one time I was in Jamaica and I see a man, a bigger Chinese man for going in his store, you know. Like, he must say, Mr. Chin, please, go God, Mr. Chin, let me know, me just want to get like a formula for me youth. And so I must say, you know, you want to see how Mr. Chin, nobody else coming here, man. Nobody else coming here. Get your bumbo clot and him. I try cuss word them. And I saw him handle the people them, you know, and the people them did they beg literally like on their knee. And me I said to myself, say, me I forgot draw somebody cow breast tonight and find milk and boil it before me going at the store there. My picnic wouldn't get no formula tonight, see? Because I'm not bowing down to these people, but me say it in front of Mr. Chin. I said, oh no, we're out here, so look how no I go on. I want to make the man feel like say him powerful and see how him handle no. No one let nobody in the store. Him count them one who goes in, who stays out. Can feel powerful about himself. There was nobody really in the store. Everybody was coming out. The store wasn't crowded. Him could I make the one brother go get the liquor formula and go him yard. I could I at least make somebody pass the formula game and him take the money from outside and run it like that. The man just deny him completely, and then the brother outside are going like him world is ending. And when me start turn up and talk loud, if you see how all of my Jamaican people that look for me, then they look for me like, oh man, you different. I true your talk, but me still want to go in that store because me still want Mr. Chin having there. Me just jump in a car and drive off and left them here, man. Because the whole of them did out there and have car and could have went to another store down the street or something. But them stand up there beg this Ross man. I beg this Ross China man who can't even really speak good, neither Patois nor English. But you're at his feet. This is why I said we will forever be other people's footstools if we don't fix up. See, I don't know, me say no, because Gavin did I say it for a long time, you know. So if we come live and see it now, we just know say something that's continuing. You see it? All right. Black man won't know himself till him back against the wall. Well, I guess we're back not against the wall, strong enough yet. So, anyways, back to this now. The driver initially complied. So, shout out to Laden. Happy he's home. Them kind of situation there is the ones that I don't really like. That's why some people talk about you a gunman supporter and all this. No, but you're not catching me without one. Yeah, and you're not trying to do nothing to me and I can't defend myself. So FLA, if you don't free up my thing, me probably did it with one too. See it? Right. So with that said, the FLA in Jamaica needs to free up itself just like how the gun thing run. Right, that's which part with it. Criminal have gun. They will always have guns, no matter what kind of laws they make in the country. As you can see, the man them come out, the Prime Minister said, Radam, 15 years minimum. The amount of rotted people them catch already with gun is to tell you. And right when he did that speech, a bag of youth come out and say, well, me have to go do me 15 years, and I make up my mind already, because you know, catch me out there without it, you know, because I have to protect my 3 points, you know. What you mean? It's your life. It's your one life. And already have the country so shagged up. The people them don't really trust law enforcement. Them don't know who to complain to. So the people them talk about, need to talk and work with law enforcement. How? One time, every minute we look around, this gang, that gang, 10 police officer, and this gang, the one over there so catch with coca transported, this one, that one. No, my friend. Them they are not people where the people them can really trust, so they are afraid. So the people them is really like, give me a gun, let me try to protect myself. Why you have to know, oh, your address doesn't match and you don't look like you own anything and you don't come from anywhere good. Them tell one youth say because of his address, can him live around some zinc fence area. Him no, at them the people that the most probably need it. And them tell the youth about because of his address he doesn't qualify to own a firearm. Just like them tell the little Chinese youth say, your life is not in danger, man. That was the reply of the letter. Because they have to give you in writing why you were denied, right? Your life was not in danger. About a week after the youth get denied, gunman go in there and murder him, 2 parents, mother and father, and I have the video. Brains there everywhere all over the place. But they feel like they have the right to tell you if you in danger or not. That's something that needs to fix up. So when I see people like Laden go to prison and do 30 odd months and stuff and come back out, I say, well, come back, and him shouldn't even have been in there in the first place. Because Irwa is a good youth, right? He's a trying youth. And not only that, if FLA did approve him, he would have been caught with a gun that was his own licensed firearm. And him wouldn't have got to prison for it because I'm own licensed firearm. But it's like them one real roadway. Is either we out here unprotected, left with 6 points a road, so man can bust off we head, or we wait for them to give us an approval so we can help ourselves. And in the meantime, gunman, gun we down. Me not support that. So again, welcome home to Laden. Big up yourself and let's get to work. See Tammy Lee there? Tammy Lee already jumped right tonight and hit song their road already. But we'll talk about that on another video. All right. Now, let's talk about this 24-year-old millionaire soccer player who predicts the downfall of his marriage. And the question is, his name is Achraf Hakimi. Did Achraf Hakimi place all his assets in his mother's name to elude paying his wife in a divorce? Shout out to the Shadow League for this one. So, international superstar, soccer superstar. Hear the story for those of you who don't know. Achraf Hakimi, he might be a Moroccan version of a Kevin Samuels, they say. If the numerous reports on the internet are to be believed, they've been verified. The soccer player Achraf Hakimi executed what might be one of the coldest plays off the field ever in the realm of love. Per numerous reports, the athlete is alleged to have pulled a fast one on his now ex-wife in their divorce proceedings. The famous Moroccan soccer player might have gone complete financial savage, putting all his assets in his mother's name. It is said that he did that a long time ago. Hiba Abok is her name. Hiba is a Spanish actress, and she is now the estranged wife of the Paris Saint-Germain FC player, who is also a defender on the Moroccan national football team. She went to a French court to seek a divorce, and she also made it known that she wanted a little more than half of the footballer's wealth. After, because people are wondering why. So I had a full story this. So people are wondering why she suddenly decided to divorce him. Okay, there's a couple of components here that people need to know about, right? So first of all, this lady was already 30-something years old when she met him, and he was 19 years old. When they got married, she was 30-odd, and he was 19 when they got married. See? Me know some mother pull him coattail already because his mom is a black woman. I don't know. If you have a granny like mine or a mother like mine, you know. Now I can't tell you what to do, you know. All me I tell you, say, me I watch her, she not too right. That one they look like, one time my mom said, me I tell you something. She will have money in your house when you up on the road here. And mama told me straight up. So, you know, me listen to mommy. I'm a granny when she was here. God bless Miss Ruby's soul. But if you have them the kind of woman there in your life, I'm gonna pull your coattail. You see? All right, and then I'm gonna make you know certain things. I was dealing with a girl one time, and my car flyer come down to Florida from New York. Yeah, I'm bringing around my family and all that. And my mom was like, "Come here. I'm not tell you how to live your life, you know, but I tell her, say, she She will have money in your house when you know that. Yeah. So I listened, and it turns out that she was exactly that type. So anyhow, back to the story I know. So, however, the report says that he left with nothing. She, after she went to the courts, file her papers, the courts gave her a surprise. She left with nothing because Hakimi had positioned his assets uniquely through a family connection. Yo, Abuk filed her divorce claims, demanding half or a little more than half of the fortunes of the World Cup star. The World Cup star is currently 24 years old, and he's the Moroccan baller. His Spanish actress wife is 36 at the moment. And when she discovered that he legally had no properties, had no money in the bank, absolutely zero, nothing, this is what the court informed her. Your husband has absolutely nothing to his name. So you want half of what exactly? Half of zero. Now, instead, his fortune is under his mother's name. But according to the media outlet that first reported it, his mother may have always been the beneficiary of his finances. It is said that he never deposited a paycheck in his name, and the youth make crazy money. He makes a equivalent of 250,000 US dollars per week. Per week. Yet, in putting all his money in his mama's name, and if he wants anything, him ask him mother for it. Him tell him mother what him want, and she purchase it and give it to him. And he's always done that. So the courts now can't even say, well, you were trying to hide your assets. That's why you pull out everything and go put it in your mother's name. He's always had it like that. And she never know that. Live on the air with SouFLo. Good morning.
Good morning, SouFLo.
Good morning, fam. How you doing?
Could you stop talk for 5 seconds?
Yeah.
And let everybody like up the likes? Because the 32 likes and over 900 and somebody watching.
Yeah.
I do that every morning. Let them like up the likes first before you start.
Well, all right.
Please, 5 seconds. 5 seconds. Please like the likes. And then just like when you give them time to tell you which topic to start.
All right. I appreciate you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. So that's a concerned supporter. She said, stop talking to Uno for like 5 seconds and don't talk again until Uno like her. So she want me cut me off for Uno and malice Uno and don't say nothing to Uno. Don't continue the story or nothing SouFLo till them like up the live. Because 700 and something people that on here, and but she's seeing 30 something likes. I'm seeing 307 likes. And again, I tell people this all the time. I don't really do this for the likes, even though the likes are important, because it is because of the likes why you trend, right? How engaged people are with your content is what this tells YouTube. And then YouTube said, okay, this was a good video. It was 700 people on here. It had 700 likes. Put it ahead. Or they'll bury the video because they're like, look, he stayed on here for an hour and a half. At peak listening time, he had 1,000 people on here. It only has 100 likes. Bury it, right? But again, our people know that. So they'll come and they'll take the free content and they'll enjoy it and they'll enjoy the time and they'll enjoy the laughs and they won't hit a like. Some of them won't hit a subscribe either. They just hear. See? So enough time people contact me and say stuff like, SouFLo, I've been listening to you and watching you for years. I'm just subscribed today because of something that you said. I said to myself, what, I'm supposed to give you a round of applause? You've been listening to me for years and you just subscribed today? I'm supposed to give you a round of applause or what? That means you've never helped me. You've never helped me to grow. You've never helped me to trend. You're probably one of those people who thought I was going to fall off or dead out and disappear. And because I keep growing, you have no choice but to subscribe now. So here what? Me not watch numbers because what is mine, regardless. Seeing? So on with the story I go. And big up the caller we're just calling to Kaya good somebody. Saying the accuser, a 24-year-old woman, said Hakimi raped her. Now, this is the reason why she filed a divorce. His wife took the kids because them have 2 picnic together. So his wife take the picnic them, you know, they're living a rich lifestyle. Took the kids on a vacation. They were in Dubai while he was working and he got caught up. Next thing she knows, she sip on TV, her husband charged with rape. First, he was accused and then he was questioned in the presence of an attorney and then he was charged. She went and filed divorce immediately. She went and filed a divorce immediately. Now, me don't know what would a prompt a woman to do that. She not ask her husband, babe, is this true or whatever. She probably knows that he was cheating a long time ago or whatever. Or probably it's a cultural thing and she's embarrassed. I don't know. But she went and filed a divorce immediately. And that's how they end up here. However, the whole football team that he works for, this is not America. This is not where as soon as you're accused, all your sponsorship disappear, drop you, and all that. The football team he plays for professionally, them put out a statement. We stand behind him 100%. This is how the court system works. He is innocent until proven guilty, and they're going to have to prove that he's guilty. That's their statement. Hakimi was given a preliminary charge of rape on March 3rd by French prosecutors. The Moroccan national team's coach, Walid Geragoui, said that the country supports the Paris Saint-Germain defender. For us and for all Moroccans, we are behind Achraf 100%, he said at a news conference. So him team now left him. His money ain't going nowhere. Well, him not have no money. Him not have no money. The money that she had try to get. Him not have no money. I think she probably thought, But you know when somebody want to left you a long time ago, but them not really know, you know, cause boy, I want to stay cause the lifestyle good still, you know, me not have no bills to pay, I really have nothing going on. I'm in Dubai, for God's sake, you know, up in luxury and stuff. I don't even need him to travel. Me just tell him what we need and him just fling the money give me and me just go shopping and, you know, full up the Rolls Royce with a bag of clothes and car, bags and this, that. I'm living the up life. But I don't like the boy. Long time I want to left him. Ross, here's the chance. So soon as she heard that news that she filed for the divorce. And they're standing behind him. Love from your mother can save you from poverty and bankruptcy. Akeem, at that, this is what his head coach says. He has the presumption of innocence until it's proven to the contrary. Love from your mother can save you from poverty and bankruptcy. Achraf Hakimi is living proof. My granny, so now them hail him as a hero. The accuser, who's accusing him of raping her, she's a 24-year-old woman. And she said that Hakimi actually did the act to her at his home in France. So you know, wifey is like, oh, so you taking bitches to the home in France too, huh? You had that bitch in my vacation home. You dirty, nasty Hakimi, I can't stand you. She said it happening at them home in France while his wife and his children were on vacation in Dubai. His lawyer says that the accusation is part of an extortion attempt. They were trying to get money out of him, and he said, "Nah, I'm paying nobody no money because he never do nothing." And they said, "Okay, we'll take it to the media and to the courts then." So following the news, Hakimi was placed under judicial supervision. However, he has been allowed to travel, and he has been allowed to leave and go play his game and get paid the same amount he was getting paid all along. No sponsorship has dropped him or anything like that, so his money is still good. Hakimi's lawyer, Fanny Collins, said that her client's indictment was an obligatory step for any person being accused of RAPE, and that he would be mounting a defense against these allegations because he's going to fight them in court because he is innocent. Now, then His wife, who was vacationing in Dubai with the 2 children, when she heard the news, she decided to file for a divorce from her husband immediately. Hakimi and Abouk were married in 2020. The woman married in 2020. She married a 19-year-old, and she was 30-something years old in 2020. And by 2023, she had filed for divorce and demanding half or a little more than half of everything he owns. So we had this conversation before, right? Where we said, can we go look this up, 5 years into the marriage, fellas, listen up. 5 years into the marriage, she is entitled to alimony. Okay? I don't know if I saw it staying in your country where you're viewing this from, but I know here in the US, 5 years into the marriage, she's going to be qualified for alimony. That means that not only when them split off piece of your assets and give to her, you will also have to cut her a check, because some judge is going to look at her and say, well, she's been holding the home front down for a half a decade. You can't send her back to the projects. She can't go back to the streets. She can't go back to her mama and daddy's house. And hey, you gotta leave the house. Where you expect this woman to go with your kids? So some women are so calculating. They already have this plan before they get into the relationship. Me I go in there, him look good, him look like him can make nice children. So me like him aesthetics, So me I go give him 2 picnic. Right, that seal up that deal there in a court already. Child support is definitely going to be on the table now. How much do they give for each child for child support? Okay, this much. All right, make we double that. They're literally planning their escape and plotting out how them are going to pay for them next place when them left you. The child support money will be enough to cover my new place, and then my alimony, because I stayed in it that long. That will cover the alimony. I'm entitled to half of his stuff because I married him at 19 when he was almost fresh in the league. And now, I was holding the home front down while he was out there busting his ass to make us rich. And now that he is rich, I think I need half of that, or a little more than half, because a little more than half would be half entitled, straight down the middle, plus our alimony, plus our child support payment. A little more than half, right? The youth said he saw all that coming from then. So, ladies, let me tell you like this, right? You might not know it, but the man see it coming. Just like the 30-year, the man where we talked about yesterday, that's 30 years, the woman he married to, him probably know from day one. The first time him give her a walk on, she was like, come round 2. And he was like, oh, I'm tired. And she gave him that look there, like, are you serious? he was like, okay, I'm never going to be enough for her. She definitely will give me bun, but she love the things them when we can't afford her, so she'll go stick around. But I wonder how long she'll go stick around for. But me like her being around too, because she have good brains, like she go to college, that kind of stuff, and yeah, the back has turn up, and she have some style the way it's pay to play. So me I go treat her like it's pay to play, right? So somebody said yesterday, SouFlo, I actually wrote it down. Was the other man 30 years her senior who quietly divorced her 4 months after their marriage in DR? Was he wrong? Wasn't he wrong for keeping her around for another 20 years? No, he wasn't wrong. She wanted to stay. He never forced her to stay. He told her up front that I know you're not going to be around you're going to eventually divorce me and try to take some of my stuff, whether it's 5 years, 10 years, 15, 20 years from now. And she went for the 20-year mark. So a lot of people are saying, damn, 20 years? Nah, she deserves something. Nah, he knew. So him set things in place from 20 years ago. That would make sure that you leave with what you come with. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, fellas, be on the lookout here. Because somehow, y'all give heart, soul, mind, and everything, and scrape out your little life savings and deny y'all your mother and anybody else in your family that you really love and could help. Because you want to flourish upon this woman. That's why I don't want to kill them more time. Because when she left with everything. And all you can think about is, the journey I had to go through to get the little bit what me have now. And it look like some me have to go start over all over again. So you just want kill a gal. So my message still stands, which is give only what you can afford to lose. Okay? That means when it's gone, you don't miss it because it's something you could afford to lose. Morocco World News reported last year that was the sixth. This guy, we hide him assets. He is the sixth highest paid African footballer. He actually earns, and here is what they put out. He earns more than 215,000 US dollars weekly. The court officials told Abouk, which is his wife, now ex-wife, told Abouk that her husband legally owned nothing and that all his millions, including his Paris Saint-Germain salary, were registered under his mother's name. No properties, no cars, no jewelry, nothing is registered to him. Still, Hakimi is reportedly worth 70 million US dollars. That's his net worth right now. But under his mother's name, who the court purportedly claims purchases everything for him, nothing to his name. Hakimi are the boss. She says Hakimi is the real MVP. Now me have to laugh. Because this big woman, see, and you know what I like about her neither? The strength on the give. Because if me now as a big man, see, I'm gonna say, yo, me at 36, or me at 30, okay, she's 36 now. It says she about to be 37. So 6'5", 4. So she was 34. And when time she married a 19-year-old. So if I was a 34-year-old man, and me I court this 19-year-old, you know all kind of name one would have called me. You know all kind of something one would have said about me. Eh? But for somebody like her, all the girls are on board. You go, girl. Ooh, she got a young, strong one too. I bet he lay pipe good. Yeah. And she's securing the bag. Yeah. But the man see ahead. See? And he was like, okay. Okay. I know that day is coming. That day they come too quick. She didn't even try to hang in there for like 10 years. 2020 married, 2023 divorce. That's 2 years and change. And in the 2 years and change, she gave him 2 picnic. Said she was sealing up the deal. She gonna get child support, all right, but that's all she gonna get. Support for the children. Not even 5 years she couldn't wait. Eh? And it's not like the man been found guilty of rape. Evidence came out in court where you can look upon him with disgust and say, you friggin' idiot, you're a rapist, you raped somebody. I really can't look at you the same. Nothing, you know. She not even wait. As the news drop, she run. As the news drop, she didn't want to left him long time. No, she didn't want to left him long time. Because as the news drop, she run go file divorce for wicked woman. Yo, you know what? I fly a flag today in his honor. Achraf Hakimi. I fly a flag today in your honor. You are the real MVP. You are the real boss and a good teacher for the rest of man them out there. All right. With that said, we're at the top of the hour. We're going to talk about Vybz Kartel family now. More than anything else, switch gear, going at this. Me a track star. Maybe me wouldn't go to the high court. Vicky Victory says, me a track star, maybe me wouldn't go to the high court. Why? Yo, maybe you would go to the high court. You can't go anywhere you want to go. But when man don't have nothing, him don't have nothing. You see it? Anyhow, I'm not going to dwell too long upon the Vybz Kartel something. Shout out to Dancehall Mag. So 5 days after saying that he was being targeted, Vybz Kartel's son, Little Addy, was confronted by a slew of police officers. Me hear me picking them a cry, and I don't know why. And it interrupts my live. And they're right behind this door. Wanna hear him? She can't carry the picnic them go outside. She can't carry them go around at the pool. She can't carry them go at the park. She can't carry them go out the door. She can't carry them on the next side of the house. She can't. Anyhow. Yes, LA. I am very triggered. Anytime I hear my kids crying, I have an issue. Because I don't know what going on. They're crying their head off. Plus, I can't hear them cry more than I'm hearing what I'm saying to you, right? So any natural parent that cares about their child, if you hear your child crying, it's going to take your attention away from what it is you're trying to do. Only wicked people hear them pick me a cry and don't pay no attention. Not true. All right. So 5 days ago, after saying that he was being targeted, Vybz Kartel's son, Little Addy put up a video and he was explaining him go someplace and a security guard draw down upon him and was, being very inappropriate and disrespectful and telling about the sucking father and all these things. So he made a video about it. Shortly after that, police run up in a Shorty house. Shorty is Vybz Kartel's wife, ex-wife. Let me do it the way how him say, because him say him have new woman now, so obviously Shorty are the ex, but Shorty is there. See, so the police just run up into the house. The video is out there. His mother, Tanisha Shorty Johnson, who is the mother to Little Addy, she was in the video. And about 3 minutes as the police officer spoke to Little Addy, who was standing there without a shirt, and his brother Little Vybz was on the balcony. Brittany Hearn, the girlfriend, baby mother of Little Vybz, she was on the phone, and them film the whole thing while the police are there. I remember watching one part of the video where the police was like, "You can't film with," or something like that. And I'm thinking to myself, you're in my house, and you're telling me that I can't film you, and you're in my house. Then I heard them asking, okay, where's the warrant? What business are you here on? I don't see no warrant produced. They never have no reason or business for be up in the house. So I start meds this differently. I think to myself, say, I'll let you see the video in a second. I think to myself, say, yo, this is weird, right? And if anything, I do think that his children are being targeted. Live on the air with SouFLo. Good morning.
SouFLo, what?
My dad, no I'm walking.
All right, now Vybz Kartel some situation, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know what? With people nowadays, people like living a lie. And as far as how the police them approach Vybz Kartel, so now him pull that to himself.
I him pull that to himself.
SouFLo, then see the little boy up on live and say, him gonna start make example and him gonna start with this and that. Him gonna bring them kind of heat to himself.
What did he say exactly that would a warrant police come run up in him house? No warrant.
Him say, him gonna start make example. Him knows we are gonna do the live thing and more. And basically, I say him gonna start shoot people who approach.
Are you say so fun? I know him say so.
No, me use the word shoot.
Yeah, exactly.
In common sense, in anybody who watch the live, knows that him a title.
Me watch the live, but me never get that out of it.
Come on, SouFLo. And then him father quote and say, the luckiest man pan 2 foot. Remember, you already know the system for you. So why you would not put them something on your social media?
When it comes to your youth, you say, you're afraid of people?
SouFLo, that's another point, you know.
No, but me ask you a question, fam. Me ask you a question. Me ask you a question, though. When it comes to your youth, you have youth?
I'm train youth.
All right. When it comes to your youth, them, you afraid of people?
Never.
All right.
SouFLo.
The system not after Kartel, fam. The system have him.
All right. We are talking about a situation right now where them already have a perception of Vybz Kartel already.
Which him know he can never change. Because right. I just saw them have him.
These little youth grow uptown and them grow in a very good home now. So the idea where you are saying like you is a thugs or you have certain influence can let things do people. We know say Vybz Kartel, so never just pull up at the plaza and the security just start disrespecting. So if we can read between the lines, he might pull up at the plaza, try park somewhere where he can't park because the ego and him is a superstar and yeah, Vybz Kartel and him father. So he might feel like
But
he can do
him explain
anything.
in the video why him pull up there and what he was doing. That's why I say, me see the video. Him explain why he was there, what he was doing, and how he was approached by the officer and all that.
SouFLo, them just can't bring them kind of eat there with the gangster way to themselves.
Saying. So
and we not fight Vybz Kartel, our artists, I will love Kartel. But in reality, what that's something you know, Zim? And I'm gonna use a different perspective. Zim? Alright.
May I listen to you, but me that try to find back the video.
If you
see have whole heap of them in there.
Little boy, I grew up on him up.
Wait, fix back your phone. Fix back your phone. Fix back your phone, brother. Cause you can't hear you now. You break up.
Up on the speaker, sorry.
Yeah, don't do that.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Alright. If you see a little boy at 10 years old, right? And him act girly, him act like a little girl, and 5 years down the line, you hear say that little boy turn Batman. Would you surprise?
No.
Because you see it in him from my kids say him act weird and fishy, right?
Yeah, but where that go?
Alright. So the point of the matter is, if you depend the internet now, and we have to be real and real, you know, SouFLo.
Yeah, man.
You are SouFLo right now, SouFLoTV. You go Jamaica and you go in your community where you come from. You have a certain level of respect, don't you?
Yeah.
All right. And with that level of respect where you have, you can use that influence certain local youth who look up to you for do certain things, don't you? So we are talking about Vybz Kartel's son now and the way of crime still Jamaica now illiterate the local youth them is. And when I say Vybz Kartel's son illiterate, you know, but we have said the little youth them we have
because we know they are not.
Jamaica now. And you hear this little boy say, yo, me have to stop come on the live and stop do this thing to car. Me have to start make example out of somehow now. Remember
okay, brother.
Have influence with enough youth, you know.
All right, pause right there, sir. Pause right there, sir. Right? You know, sir. You know him mother, right?
Yes.
You know him father have money, right?
Allah.
Okay. Now, and you just said that them grow uptown in a good home in a different manner, right? Walk with me now, right? What if he meant start make example out of somehow, as in using the judicial system and start sue people and carry people go court?
SouFLo.
Remember, and you take it to shoot people, and gun thing,
SouFLo. You see, we Jamaican like make excuse for people, and when we know that, when we start being truth and honest to ourselves, when it reach with doorstep and we say, yes, and this and that, and we see it a long time, but we choose to ignore it and put it whatever reason for replace it for our purpose. We have to call that spade, brother.
Brother, why, me not see how you get that still. Me not see how you get that.
Me know you see it,
No, me don't see it. No, me don't see it. You can't put that upon me because me don't see it. Listen, me are one of them people, right? Me not look no praise from nobody, and I don't business if nobody really give me no praise or not. So, if me did see it, it wouldn't be nothing for me if you come say, yo, little Addy, need to fix up because you see which part your father there, you see how them have him, and you out here go down the wrong part. I wouldn't be afraid to say that, fam.
You see it? Yes, all right.
I would not be afraid to say that. But me, I try to figure out where you are saying sound like you plant something on the youth.
No, you see a little Addy go around. You see, if anything did happen to that security there the next day, I think them are going to go for feet because based off of how him go on the line and react. Him they would have got for feet. So jump out of the security guard head. Them are going to pre him. And them are going to pre him father and search the phone and try to find something.
Okay.
And that because them don't like the father already.
All right. So what was his other? What was his other alternative then? Cause the youth grew up in a social media world, you know. Him young, you know, him born. We come to social media, you know. So what was his other alternative then?
And that's the thing. Me I go get to that point right now.
When should I do?
Me I react to what you just say a while ago. And me I go tell you exactly the answer, right?
Mm-hmm.
You see social media.
Mm-hmm.
People are live for social media too much.
Brother, may I ask you, what was his other course of action? What him should I do? Because you say him go on social media and if anything be happen.
Social media, him could have used the same social media, but him never did have to put it in the context like him can pull off some type of vibes like a violent vibe.
Are you interpreted that way they do?
No, just me. Go watch the Terradan review about it. Go watch every other review. It's just people being hypocrite and don't like being true to themselves.
No, man. Because me have youth too. So, me look for the next man youth like my youth. See? So, I'm not afraid for school the next man youth. I'm not afraid to talk true.
Youth at Jamaica, I'm a 15-year-old.
See?
And him cousin attack him a certain way and him come to me with it and his mother talk to him about it and me deal with him cousin and hear what the whole thing now. Remember now, me have a little bit of influence too. See? And
Shells, big up yourself, Shells. All right, go on, brother.
I grew up with them as youth too. And friend when they run him cousin, me I talk to them, the whole of them are my friend too. And the whole of we are friends. And when me I talk to one of them separate, one ask me if me want them do the youth something. You get what I try to show you? So imagine some people who don't have the mentality with me have no way, but just jump and say, yo, in this my youth, you know, so Ray, you can't just move ignorant.
All
you
right,
see me,
brother.
you have to value people life, you know. Remember, you know, you love your kids, them, and everything, but your kids can provoke a situation, so you have to be real. You can't just, because somebody attack and a child, maybe deal with your kids in a disciplinary way. It might come off aggressive to you, but maybe your kid wrong too.
Mm-hmm.
You can't just look, people love Vybz Kartel just as how people don't like him too, you know.
Yeah, man,
and
I know all
people
that,
love him, pick with them same way, just as how some maybe not like them. That. So you really have to look on the situation and in all fear and honesty, nobody, unless that's some youngster youth, where maybe Vybz Kartel do something to some of them family or something. Nobody now go just say,
you see, me and you. All right, brother. All right, thank you. Manners and respect. Here, sir.
All
right. Okay. So, me not take no more calls for the morning. Me I go end this in a minute, but me have to say what me want to say. But from his standpoint, him believe where him believe. Now, in a court of law that would be seen as leading, it's obvious he already has this preconceived notion and this perception that is made up, right? Kartel is this man who can order people, figure kill people, and that's what his son was insinuating. And if you read between the lines and all that, none of that now go on, fam. None of that is not going on. The youth them do very good in our music. The youth them never take the traditional road to success kind of thing. Them have them own money now. What Vybz Kartel did was break the glass ceiling. I'm going to keep on to tell people this over and over. You're going to get a fight. See, there is upper class, middle class, and lower class, and those from lower class is supposed to make it as far as to middle class, but you're not supposed to dwell up yourself. So anytime you can get a blueprint that not only lift yours out of poverty, but show others how to do it too, you will become enemy of the state. See? Okay. With that said, Kartel is very influential, all this other stuff, of course. But I watched the Little Youth video, and the Little Youth was basically explaining eloquently, by the way. He never did a talk like one of them high dancehall artists there, where he's doing me and say dog, and you know me and say G, and he eloquently explained exactly what happened to him, how he pulled in, how he was approached, and all that. Seeing how the man start telling about a suck him father and all these. Why would you be telling, as a person in uniform, why are you telling a youth about a suck him father? You never even say suck your mother. You say suck your father. That your meds done corrupt already, because I told my audience this before. In order for you to say something, you have to have thought it first. There's nothing that comes out your mouth that wasn't processed in your brain. You hear me just say? So when you tell a man about suck your father, that means you sit down there and really think about a youth to suck him daddy. So anyhow, that's where that went, right? And the youth was trying to put it out there that maybe the youth felt fearful. Him not travel with a bag of security where it's like, oh, move back. This is Vybz Kartel's son. This is little Addy. Move back. He's a superstar. The youth not travel like that. So if people approach him and talk to and disrespectfully while adding his dad into it, it begs the question: is he being targeted? Are his children being targeted? Me never hear nothing in there that would suggest that he was gonna get gunman to go do nothing to the people. Take that and run with that because that's what they have in them head already. That's why it was so easy to sell them the whole case. You understand? And the thing that killed me is usually at the end of saying all that defaming or defamatory stuff, them end up say, "We love Cartel too, you know. And my DJ that, you know." But nah, y'all want enemy. Y'all want enemy. If you did treat the man youth like how you would treat your youth. And I don't know why people keep on saying this about can you not be true to yourself, and if you just tell the truth and you see what me, I don't see what you're saying. I don't see what you're saying. Nobody can grab me and try beat me unless they want to fight me. So, and if I fight y'all up, then we can fight, right? And we can do any kind of fight you want to do. So, me not have no problem speaking my mind. Nobody don't hold my tongue, and I'm not attached to any entity who's going to cut my check. So I don't have a problem speaking my mind. If my city youth was going down the wrong path, this would be the best platform to say, yo, I used to look on Uno, like I come take over dancehall, and it was good because your father run this for how long, and to see the crown and the throne handed over to his offsprings and not somebody else. This, you know, the legacy are gonna last forever. This look dope. It's like the Marleys with reggae music and Bob Marley, Wally, picking them and this, that, right? This is what I would have said that. And look how I mash up the thing. Youth, when I need to take a different part. I don't have no problem, I said that. But that's not what's going on from. And that I go on. It looks to me like them are target the youth them. It looks to me like they're actually targeting his children. But here what? Kartel, I don't know idiot. So I'm sure Kartel feel the same way about it. But he's in a position where him have to hold him tongue now. Right? Because you know if him did there road, him would have really have more to say than the little bit that he said. See? But his appeal is still before the Privy Council. I meet a youth the other day out the road. Here the youth. Me tell you, me not tell you say them out dash him way. Yeah, man, come here, watch what him name the other day, and them say some vlogger name. Yeah, watch what him name there, and them make we know say what Privy Council dash out the whole of that the case there. See there? That mean him have to go do him all 35. I said, see, you choose who to listen to, so your information is all screwed up. Now, if you did listen to me, yeah, me used to listen to your SouFLo, man, but you know, I oversaw the thing that now, and I say, yeah, it's cool. But if you were still listening to me, you would know that his case is still before the Privy Council being considered under an appeal. No, it's not. Mr. Brother, I'm not argue with you because I'm not beat up my own chest, but I listen good and I'm well read. I make sure whatever I speak about has substance and it's factual. SouFLo, you don't know what you talk about, man. Them dash them way, just like the tell us them don't dash them way, and Privy Council dash that out. Some people, it's better to just not talk to them. Now, as far as it goes with Kartel and him youth them, his youth are being targeted, okay? I started this out as a question, but I don't know question no more. I wanted to see what the audience had to say, but my summation of this is the man picking them are being targeted. Explain to me why you run up in the house no warrant. A woman in there is asking you, the woman of the house is asking you at least present the warrant. You're just freely in the people them house. Where do we do that at? And I keep telling my Jamaican people that, listen to me, if this can happen to people who have a whole heap of fame and a whole heap of money, what do you think will happen to we who don't have nothing? Or with us are regular people? When them dash away, see, and run up in our house for no reason, and hey boy, stop talk, I'm kick off your mouth, Warren, move and go over there, so sit down, gun butt you, kick you over. That's the world y'all want to live in, because you so hateful of Kartel that I use him as example, and I use Feme life as example. See? Let me see.
Because yes, and none of us is the police, but I swear to see something like this is what we don't know. And when I see no warrant, I want to see no warrant, I don't want to get no warrant. And then I answer me, mommy. Miss Johnson, Tanisha Johnson.
Let's play something.
Yeah, them not arrest for true, them not arrest. No, them open the door downstairs. Me hear it, me not there. Me hear the door downstairs. Phone. That's why I'm come out. I will never come now. Me open the door, but I only open the door downstairs. Me alert.
You're in the woman house, no kind of professionalism. You didn't show a warrant. You did address her as auntie. She is the owner of the home. She have to tell us, say, I'm mommy, I'm the mother of these boys. And these kind of things. For another thing, say, his youth are being targeted. Shot it to. And now that, you know what? I'm going to save this for your next video. Because I just something just now. Stay tuned for this. New relationship, Shotty separated. Something similar to what happened before when the whole camp disbanded. Everybody was targeted. Anytime you got close to him, because them not only want him, they want everybody around him, break down his support system. I'm going to talk to him upon the next video. Here, but pay attention to what going on. I'll catch y'all tomorrow right here on Morning Thoughts, and we'll pick up where we left off at. Big up on yourself. Rash Jada, thank you for being here, family. Big up yourself. Manners and respect to each and every one of you. Pay attention. Don't sleep. I'm out. Peace.